Hi, my name is David. I go by the nickname of M1zery DX. I play Apex Legends for LegionFarm as one of the pro players. I've been playing Apex for over 2 years now. I prefer to play a shot caller, playmaker, leader because my playstyle is very aggressive. I like to make and take risky plays, have highlight reel plays, and it's one of my thrills from the game. Like, that's what makes the game for me exciting. I don't like to play passive, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I can't play passive. I've always maintained a student mentality. I've always looked for self-improvement. This was always my core philosophy in every game that I play. Absolutely anything. If I'm playing Tetris on my way home, I'll be looking for ways to improve while playing Tetris. I don't really play games casually. My pleasure from playing a game comes from playing a game on a high level and actually having this little journey of self-improvement. Having a very self-reflective approach to games taught me how to approach things analytically, which also allows me to break things down into small parts, which makes the coaching aspect for me easier. So for example, if I have a customer that wants to work on a specific area, I know how to break it down into small steps in order for him to make those goals more achievable. Put a certain goal in front of the customer. Let's say this customer, he wants to get to a high level. And when you give them a list of things that they need to work on, it might look very tedious for them and it might sometimes discourage them. But when you tell them, hey, focus on this, and each session you give them only a specific part to work on, and after session you notice that they improve, it kind of fuels their desire to keep improving. It's like, think of it like this. When you go home, if you have a lot of homework, you feel a little discouraged doing it. Right? Like, you're like, like I have a lot of homework, like, I gotta do it. But when the homework is not piling up, when it's in small parts, you have no problem doing it. You kind of go with it. I think that's the right approach, especially when somebody's learning. One of the key things that you don't want to do is overwhelm someone. You want to make sure that they are slowly and steadily learning, because the problem with overwhelming someone, it might discourage them. And once they're discouraged, they no longer want to improve, and they have to find that second wave of motivation, which is not always easy and not always possible. Especially in a game such as Apex, there is almost infinite skill ceiling. There's always areas to improve on. As long as you ensure that the person that you're coaching stays motivated and stays interested in the game, then he'll always come back. That, paired with the quality of the coaching that I provide, like a childlike approach to things is not always good. You have to set certain goals, you have to stay focused. Even though it is a video game, you still have to have the same qualities that you have in everyday life. You gotta have discipline, you gotta have motivation. What drives me is also the complexity of this game. I love it for its difficulty, I would say. I love it because there's always a new thing that comes up every now and then. Always a new mechanic, always a new interaction that makes the game interesting. As I mentioned, the difficulty part is that, I'd like to think that it's probably one of the hardest FPS games at the moment. And that is also exciting. I don't like to do or play easy games. Again, I don't want to sound pretentious, but that's truly what drives me, because even when I think back to other games, I used to play roles or characters that were always difficult. I was always looking for something that had a high skill ceiling. I was never a fan of playing like a 2-button character that was strong. I was always looking for a character that was super complex. For the team to win the game, I would say the most important factor is being a team, working in cohesion, working as a single unit, understanding what each team member brings to the table, and supporting each other. One thing that people have trouble with is that we all have bad days. It's a common thing in gaming, is that even amongst the top of the top players, we all have bad days. And what people don't realize is that when you have a bad day, you gotta enable your partner, you gotta enable your teammate, you gotta support them. so they have a good day, and when they have a bad day, they support you, so you have a good day. It's always a team effort, and I think that this is the key. I know it sounds very redundant, teamwork is the most important thing, blah blah blah, but it truly is. There's no other way around it.